Home of the Rams. It's a doubleheader of action tonight. Women's basketball followed by men's basketball. I'm Matt Crawford. I'll be doing the play-by-play for the women's game tonight. By my side is Matt Miller. He'll be doing the color commentary. We will switch at about the halfway mark in between these two games, if you will, but should be a great action here tonight in Shepherdstown, Matt.
Yeah, I'm sure for both of these teams anxious to get back out on the floor after the Thanksgiving break. These two teams have not played since, the 25th. That was the last time out for West Virginia Wesleyan. And that was a non-conference game at Shippensburg. Suffered a 78-60 setback in that one. Meanwhile, for the Shepherd Rams, it's been much longer. They haven't been on the floor since the 19th. We were here for that one, a matchup against the University of Charleston, and a game where Shepherd suffered a loss by the final of 85-71.
Looking at this West Virginia Wesleyan team, the Bobcats struggling this year under a familiar name in Vicky Bullitt.
Yeah, folks in this area certainly know the name of Vicky Bullitt, the former Martinsburg High School standout, went on to a standout career at the University of Maryland. After that, playing on Olympic gold medal teams for the United States, getting a chance to play professionally in other countries, including Brazil. Came back and played for a little while and coached for a little while in the WNBA, and then had a coaching stint nearby at Hagerstown Community College. Did very well there, really turning that program around, and now is at West Virginia Wesleyan, where she's trying to do the same.
Yeah, her squad right now struggling, as we said a little bit earlier, 0-4, 0-2 in the Mountain East Conference. And looking at some of these games, they opened up against Pitt Johnstown. That was a home game, fell by 7 in that game. Then it was at Wheeling Jesuit, fell by, again, single digits. It was a 60-52 game in that one. Then they get another loss. It was West Liberty. That game a little more lopsided, as it was a 86-63 ball game in that one. But again, it's West Liberty. They're a very good basketball program. And then their last game was at Shippensburg, and again, an 18-point decision. So it looks like while they were able to keep the games close at the beginning of the year, the last two games have gotten away from the Rams.
Yeah, two of the last 4 games, or 2 out of 4 games, you should say. You know, this Bobcat team has had an opportunity to maybe get victories, but just couldn't pull it out early. These last 2 clearly have not been in them quite as much. The biggest problem for them seems to be offense. When you look at the numbers, they're scoring only 59.5 points per game while giving up 73.5 per game. And you look at their field goal percentage, really not awful. They're shooting 36% from the floor, but just 19% from beyond that three-point line.
Yeah, so a team that is needing a win badly. I know it's still early in the season. College basketball is a very, very long game and a long season, but 0-5 and 0-3 in the Mountain East Conference does not sound good if you're West Virginia Wesleyan.
No, this is a game they would definitely like to get, although it's tough to win on the road. And when you look at their early conference schedule, they were at Wheeling Jesuit, and now they're at Shepherd. Their home game in there was against a tough squad in West Liberty. So it's not been an early, easy schedule for the Bobcats.
All right, Matt, let's take a look at the Shepherd University Rams. Off to a pretty good start. A very, very young team are these Rams, but they're coming in playing some pretty good basketball right now with a 3-2 record overall, 1-1 in the conference, but did fall in rather ugly fashion against Charleston the last time out. We had that game right here.
Yeah, just had a tough game all the way around. Really, they were in it at halftime. It was a single-digit game at that point, but in that third quarter, things really got away from them as they were outscored by about 14 points, and it went from being a single-digit deficit to being down by about 17 going into that fourth quarter. And while they had a gritty, determined effort in that final quarter, it clearly was not enough. So that was a tough game to go into, a very long break. Anxious to see how the Rams play today.
Yeah, and it's a game where, going back to that Charleston game, it was a couple players that were able to get into the scoring column, but it didn't ever feel like a team effort, and I think that's one thing they're going to have to work on today if they want to come out of here with a win.
Yeah, Sydney Clayton led the way with 21 points. Senior guard Carrie Langford added 15 points and 5 rebounds. And senior guard Kayla Tibbs added 14 points in that effort. It seemed like it was different points in time in the game where each of them kind of rose to the occasion, but again wasn't enough against Charleston.
And it looks like these two teams offensively could fit into what the other team has been doing. Looking at scoring for both sides, West Virginia Wesleyan only scoring about 60 points a game. Not a whole lot even on the women's level. That's not a whole lot of points in a game, but they're giving up 73 points a game, while Shepherd is scoring 74 points a game. So it looks like they're going to fit in perfectly to that mindset or what the defense for West Virginia Wesleyan has been doing so far this year. And Shepherd's giving up 73. So that is something Shepherd definitely is going to have to work on, is that point differential, only scoring about 1 more point than their opponent in a game.
Yeah, and when you look at the overall numbers for Shepherd, you kind of wonder, why they're giving up 73 points. They're holding their opponent to about 43% shooting from the three-point arc, 43% from the floor. They're right there in rebounding, only being out-rebounded by about 1 to 1.5 a game, and they're forcing just 2 fewer turnovers than they're turning it over themselves. So it's not a case where the Rams are necessarily playing bad basketball, just maybe need to turn some things up on that defensive end.
Well, we mentioned how West Virginia Wesleyan got to this point in the season. Shepherd opened up the season with 2 wins over Winston-Salem State and Shaw, then fell in an 18-point decision. That was at home against an opponent they're going to see an awful lot coming up in the next lot of years in a PSAC school in California, Pennsylvania. Lost that one 78-60. Then got back on their winning ways when they faced West Virginia State. That was a 84-74 game. Then again, that loss to Charleston. So that's how Shepherd has gotten to this point in the season.
Well, and exactly opposite, if you will, of what the Bobcats have faced. Shepherd has been at home, and especially at home against some really key opponents, and that has gone well for the Rams to get this start at 3-2, 1-1 in the league.
It has, absolutely. It looks like it's going to be time for us to listen to the national anthem and get the starting lineups underway. We will let you know those starting 5 for the Bobcats and the Rams when we get them on the floor here. But now we're going to pause as we turn to the flag for the national anthem. And we are going to keep it with the public address announcer here at the Butcher Center to give you the starting lineups for both teams. Going to start with the West Virginia Wesleyan Bobcats, and we will recap what those starters are when we come back from this.
And glorified for Pennsylvania, number 10, Brittany Stoutland. At 4, the 6'1" junior from Tulsa, Oklahoma, number 15, Cole Miller. At guard, 5'8" senior from Mount Pleasant, Pennsylvania, number 21, Alexa Sabal. And at 45 sophomore from Northern Pennsylvania, number 24, Abby Cabral. Bobcats 11 head coach Ricky Bullock, assistant coach Alicia Jackson. Now the starters for your Rockets on Hayward, Virginia, number 25, Marley McLaughlin. And the number 14 singer from New York, is Morgan.
So there's your starting lineups for both the Bobcats of West Virginia Wesleyan and the Rams of Shepherd University. Again, one more time, starting with the visiting Bobcats. Looks like it's at guard. It's going to be 5'6" junior Tyra Hughes. At another guard position, it is going to be number 21, Alex Zilong, the 5'8" senior. And then a 3-forward bunch here for the Bobcats. Brittany, I believe that's Stivoy. Looking at that number 10, the 5'8" sophomore.
Yes, Brittany Stowovi, I believe.
Stowovi, let's go with Stowovi. And then Abby Gaybauer at sophomore. She's a 5'9" forward. And for Shepherd, it's Kayla Tibbs at the guard. Carrie Langford, also a guard. Marley McLaughlin, the 3-guard offense. Liz Mormon down low, along with number 24, Sydney Clayton. We are ready for the jump ball, controlled by Shepherd, given off to Carrie Langford. She brings it over the midcourt stripe as she gets ready to set up the Shepherd Ram offense. Over into the corner, McLaughlin inside, and an early foul. As it was a good job getting position there by Sydney Clayton. She would have a clear lane to the basket. Foul's going to go on number 15, Nicole Gilliard.
Well, last time out against Charleston, that was the Rams' MO. Get it down inside to Sydney Clayton, and she scored 21.
Back up top, getting it to Kayla Tibbs, who's going to set up the offense before getting it back over to Carrie Langford. Down low, Liz Mormon wide open, up and in. Shepherd is on the board early.
Yeah, great job against the zone as they worked it from one side to the other, and then Mormon found an open spot underneath.
The Bobcats will start their first offensive possession, again, pretty much all the way around the perimeter, as really nobody's sizing up that Shepherd Ram defense immediately. A long 2, and that'll be good. Are they going to call that a 2, or was her foot on the line? No, beyond the arc, that is a 3.
Yeah, the officials put the hands up for Abby Gaybauer as she was able to knock down that 3 ball.
Again, Langford trying to set up the Shepherd offense. Works it inside, then a 3-point attempt. Kayla Tibbs from outside off the back of the iron, controlled by the Bobcats as they work it up. Trying to work the numbers, but there aren't. A quick jump stop in the lane off the right side of the rim, and a good rebound quickly by Sydney Clayton, as that ball will be a turnover right back to West Virginia Wesleyan.
Yeah, Sydney Clayton trying to get it off to Carrie Langford to bring it up the floor, and the pass just a little low at her feet. She couldn't handle it. It ends up out of bounds. That's a tough turnover.
It's a tough turnover after forcing a quick shot for the Bobcats. Trouble getting the ball in as it is finally brought in, and the Bobcats a quick offensive zone. Working inside, good tight defense from Shepherd in all facets right now.
A case where Zilong couldn't quite handle that pass, or she may have had a good look and ultimately had to pass it back out. Very
good defense for the Rams right now as that shot clock gets to 10. And the Bobcats have not been able to find an opening till right there. Another 3-ball up and good. Number 24, Abby Gaybauer. The 3 puts the Bobcats up 6-2 with just over 8 minutes left here in the first quarter.
Oh, and she's got all of the points so far for them, and now a Ram turnover.
Good defense by Liz Mormon getting back on that turnover, forcing the Bobcats to set up, and another 3-point opportunity from the outside off the back of the iron. Shepherd will get it up to Kayla Tibbs. She's got a wide open layup. She can make it up and in off the glass. Good transition offense there for the Rams.
Yeah, Wesleyan, after that long shot, never got anyone back defensively.
And just like that, the Bobcats, quick pace right now as they put up a 2-pointer there. It's now 8-4 with 7:45 left here in the first.
Yeah, Zilong found an opening on that right side of the floor and hit that mid-range jumper.
Shepherd trying to work it inside. They do have a little bit of size down there with Mormon and Sydney Clayton. Back to the outside, Kayla Tibbs from the corner, off the back of the iron, but it's going to be an offensive rebound for Shepherd. Good run down by Marley McLaughlin.
A nice job penetrating against the zone and then kicking out.
And almost too good of a pass from Sydney Clayton to Liz Mormon. I don't think Mormon was expecting that at all as she just lost it off her hands. It'll go back to the Bobcats.
Yeah, nice high post, low post as Clayton got it at the foul line. Looked like she had an open jumper, and I think Mormon was expecting her to shoot and not looking for the pass.
As the Bobcats work it around the outside, trying to set up the offense. Stop jumper in the lane. Floater in the lane is up, and it is good. And Jenna Eckelberry wants a timeout. 10-4. The Bobcats leading Shepherd right now. 7:06 remaining in this first quarter of action. We're going to take a 1-minute timeout. When we come back, we will have the rest of the first quarter action. Right now, 10-4 the lead for the West Virginia Wesleyan Bobcats. This is Shepherd Ram basketball on WRNR TV and TV 10.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons. With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3.
And we welcome you back into the Butcher Center here on the campus of Shepherd University. 10-4 your score here. The Bobcats over the Shepherd Rams with, again, just over 7 minutes left here, and just under 7 minutes left here in the first quarter. Shepherd tries to work it around the perimeter. Looking inside, deflected as it was trying to go to Liz Mormon. Will go out of bounds, and will go back to the Bobcats. Apparently went off the foot of Liz Mormon.
Yeah, tough break there for the Rams. Not a good pass over the top. Nice defense by Wesleyan, as I believe it was Hughes got a hand on it. Ultimately, that loose ball goes out of bounds to the Bobcats.
Shepherd showing a little bit of pressure in the backcourt as the Bobcats do get it over the timeline. Again, good lockdown defense. Marley McLaughlin in the backcourt, and a good turnover. Intercepted right there by Kayla Tiff. She worked it up and draw the foul. Team foul number 2 on the Bobcats.
Alexa Zalong out deep in the Ram front court. Thought she had a chance to maybe get a hand in there, strip the ball away, but ultimately got a hold of Tibbs.
Looks like McLaughlin will exit the game. In will come number 14, Hannah Myers. And Shepherd tries to pull this lead a little bit closer, the deficit a little bit closer, I should say. Again, 10-4 the Bobcats lead right now. Inside, deflected, good work down low as West Virginia Wesleyan will move back the other way.
Now Zalong at 6'1", able to block that shot of Sydney Clayton down low as the Ram sophomore goes about 5'11".
Deflected out of bounds, will stay with West Virginia Wesleyan. Baseline inbound here. Again, good defense. Bobcats having trouble getting the ball in. Almost to 5 seconds. That's what Coach Jenna Eckelberry is screaming on that sideline. Little gap in the defense. Floater in the lane, up and rattles around and in and out. But an offensive rebound put back up off the back of the iron, and some physical play down there, but it will be a Shepherd Ram basketball, as that may have been a double dribble right there, but working it up the court is Shepherd.
Yeah, Liz Mormon looked like she got bumped as she was trying to grab that rebound, ultimately lost her footing.
Working it low inside to Sydney Clayton, and it'll stay with Shepherd. I thought that may have gone off Clayton right near the baseline, but it will stay Shepherd Ram basketball. 14 seconds left on the shot clock. Inbound coming from that baseline.
Yeah, like a hot potato. Clayton just couldn't quite get the handle on it, or may have had a shot in the lane.
There's the inbound to Liz Mormon outside to Kayla Tibbs. She will put up a 3 ball. That is up and rattles around. Rebound by Wesleyan, working it back up across the half. But they got an even amount of numbers now, 3-on-3, as they work it back up. Float on the outside of the lane, off the side of the rim. And 3 Rams there to get the rebound. And what's the call? A foul. So 3 Rams standing right there, ready to get that rebound. And instead, a good scrappy effort by the Bobcats, and they will retain possession.
Yeah, Abby Gaybauer was in there battling to get that loose ball and ultimately drew that foul. Tough shooting start for Kayla Tibbs. Matt, she's had 3 wide open looks from beyond the arc and just hasn't been able to get them to go.
Yeah, unfortunate, but good defense down low by Shepherd. It's still a 10-4 game. A couple minutes of scoreless basketball being played after that timeout. Good up and under off the backboard, never even hit rim as it'll come down and Shepherd will work it back the other way in the offensive zone.
Yeah, great move by Gilliard, but just too strong on the shot.
Kayla Tibbs working inside. She will be stripped of the ball. Going up and back the other way is the Bobcats, and then stripped from the back and that'll be a Bobcat basketball.
Yeah, Hughes was the one to pick a Ram pocket on the other end, and as she was coming up the floor, great hustle D by Carrie Langford to come in from behind and tip the ball, but ultimately out of bounds, staying with the Bobcats.
Bobcats will inbound from the baseline. They do get it in, and good defense by number 4, Lauren Reed, who has entered the game. Back up to the top, under 20 now on the shot clock, 4:45 on the game clock.
Shepherd has been in that man-to-man defense since the beginning of the game. They've been very aggressive in it. Problem is they just can't get good looks or makes on the other end.
As the shot clock winds down, a prayer shot put up and an offensive rebound again for West Virginia Wesleyan. Another three from the outside. That rattles in and out, and Shepherd will bring down the basketball and move it up into the offensive zone.
Yeah.
Over in the corner, that's Lauren Reed from 3, and she will miss that ball a little bit short. As West Virginia Wesleyan almost throws it out of bounds, and a turnover, and will go back the other way, slow it down for the Rams as they need to set up the offense.
Yeah, both of these teams are playing at a fast pace, taking quick shots, and has led to little offense so far.
Drive for Carrie Langford, no dice, but a foul on the play.
And I believe it may be on Langford going after the rebound after her shot came off the bottom of the rim, and it will go on Langford as her first and team foul number 3. Excuse me, 2, second team foul.
4 minutes to go here in the first quarter of action. A couple minutes of scoreless action here, as it has been 10-4 for at least 3 minutes of game action. Again, Shepherd playing pretty good but defense being played well on both ends of the court. And neither team can really get into that offensive rhythm. Good block down low by Sydney Clayton. She will move it up to Mary McLaughlin, who will slow the ball down a little bit going into that right wing. Sends it back up top, working it around the outside. Lauren Reed on the left corner. Back up to Carrie Langford, who will set up the offense. Langford's going to drive right, stop in the lane, kick it back out. McLaughlin from the right side, and she has a 3-ball rattle in and out. How many of those have we seen so far, Matt?
Yeah, a bunch early on. That's at least 5 threes that just aren't falling right now for Shepherd. They're getting good looks. The ball's right there rolling around, but ultimately popping out of the rim.
And again, the scoreless drought continues. Going on just about 4 minutes now of game action without a basket for either team. Somebody has to break this at some point. And is that going to be an offensive foul? Yes, it is. Good job setting the feet down low. Carrie Langford.
Well, it was interesting because the outside official right in front of the Ram bench was blowing the whistle same time as the underneath official on the baseline. They looked at each other, and the underneath official conceded to that outside official and said it's a charge.
And I think a very good call. Looked like Langford had her feet set as she brings the ball back up, hoping to set up the offense for Shepherd. Wild pass gotten down by Sydney Clayton.
Yeah, that foul, by the way, was on Victoria Jackson. Her first, now team's third.
Ball deflected out of bounds, will remain Shepherd Ram basketball. Inbounding from the sideline. Inbounder will be Lauren Reed. Gets it back out to Carrie Langford, who will set up the offense with 15 left on the shot clock. Works down low, and they kick ball. She was looking for Sydney Clayton.
And again, the Rams really wanting to work that ball down inside. Clayton has been a force inside in the early going of this season. One of the leaders for this Ram team.
Victoria Jackson comes in for Gilliard on the Bobcat side of the court.
Clayton averages 17 points a game for Shepherd.
Sydney Clayton going up, and she'll get called for a travel. One too many steps for Clayton as another turnover for Shepherd, and it'll be West Virginia Wesleyan basketball.
And again, credit Wesleyan for some good help side defense as Clayton caught that ball just right of the paint, spun to her left into the lane, thought she was going to have an open look, but that weak side defender coming over forced the travel.
A good baby press for Shepherd, but Wesleyan does get it over the timeline. Again, trying to work it inside. They've slowed down on the outside shots. Stop. Jumper in the lane off the back of the iron. And the scoreless drought continues. Good defensive rebound by Sydney Clayton, working it up. Lauren Reed in the corner. She will hesitate and work it back up top. Carrie Langford. She's going to drive. Puts a shot up. Floater blocked. Good block by number 33, Anastasia Karanova. And just like that, another turnover, and going up to Sidney Clayton, up and in, and the scoreless drought is over. Sidney Clayton up and in, and a timeout being called on the court.
Looks like it'll be a 30-second timeout with 1:53 remaining in this opening quarter. And finally, Shepherd able to turn a turnover into points. As you said, the defense has really played well in this opening quarter, but they hadn't necessarily been able to turn it into points.
Yeah, so sloppy play really offensively on both ends, but Shepherd's playing good defense right now. They just need to be able to get the ball down low to their playmakers.
I'm waiting for that scoreboard to change. It still said 10-4 until just now, and now that last 2 points goes up for Shepherd. I was waiting momentarily to see if they had called that basket off for a travel or some other violation, but that was not the case. Shepherd's just got to keep doing what they're doing on that defensive end. They're doing a great job, and they've had some open looks on the other end. They just haven't hit a lot of those open threes, especially in this opening quarter.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll be able to change that.
How many have we seen rattle in and out? Ball brought back in, and I believe we are going to have a stoppage here. Not sure. Looks like they're going to do the inbound again. Not sure what for exactly.
And there was a question of some sort over at the scorer's table. They just took a second off the clock. Maybe the clock didn't start properly.
So again, another inbound. It looks like a press for Shepherd. Everybody in that backcourt is covered by a Rams. They do get it in. Good steal right off the inbound. 3-ball up for Lauren Reed off the front of the iron. And they got to slow that down and set up the offense there and try to get a quality shot.
Yeah, Hannah Myers with the steal, but again, they couldn't get points.
And again, it'll go back the other way with the Rams after a missed shot. Working it to the outside. There's Lauren Reed. She'll put up a 3. That off the back of the iron. And Shepherd is not afraid to put up the 3-ball so far today.
No, but it is not going in. They may need to start working down low a little bit and come back to that three-pointer later.
10-6 with just over a minute left in the first quarter. Good block down, and Shepherd's got numbers working the other way. A stumble, but they're going to go inside, up and in. Good basket there for Hannah Myers.
And what a great job by Lindsay Bedrigal, who was losing her footing but maintained the dribble and was able to shovel that pass off for the 2.
Bedrigal has come in for Carrie Langford running that point position. And just like that, a 2-point game, 10-8 Wesleyan. Wesleyan hasn't scored now in just about 6 minutes of action. Good defense right there by Sidney Clayton as Wesleyan had an open cutter driving through the center of the lane.
Yeah, great job to get a hand in that passing lane, poke it away.
Outside to Hannah Myers. 32 seconds left on the game clock. Working down inside of Sidney Clayton. She has one dribble up and off. A little too short as West Virginia Wesleyan will get the last shot of the quarter if they so choose. Shot clock is off, game clock at 15 seconds. And it looks like they are going to settle for that last shot. Again, they have the 2-point advantage, 10-8 here in the first quarter. 5 seconds left on that clock. Looking for a shot, a deep 3 put up, and that's an air ball, and that will be the end of the first quarter of action here in Shepherdstown. A low-scoring first quarter, 10-8. The West Virginia Wesleyan Bobcats with the lead. We will have the second quarter of action coming up next. This is Shepherd Ram Basketball on WRNR TV and TV 10.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
WU Medicine has planted itself here, and they're the first university that I've found who wants to take ownership of this population, of Western Maryland, Southern Pennsylvania, Eastern Ohio, and the good people of West Virginia. And it's really refreshing to see.
I was able to do things that the patients were going away for, which is good for the patients, and it's good for us because we have more resources. Certainly has helped take us to another level.
And we welcome you back into the Butcher Center. Start of the second quarter. West Virginia Wesleyan has the 2-point advantage, 10-8. 10 seconds gone here in the first.
Well, a turnover on that opening possession of this second quarter for the Bobcats as they continue to struggle against that Ram defense.
The Rams set up their first offensive possession, going inside to Liz Mormon, right under the basket, up and off the front of the iron.
Looked like she was going to go for a reverse layup. Once she got under the rim, she spun back the other way, and that was a tough angle on the shots.
9:20 and counting here in the second quarter of action. A low-scoring first quarter, or you can say good defense, either way you want to put it. Wesleyan still working it around the perimeter, as that'll be one too many steps, traveling violation. Going back the other way, Shepherd Ram basketball.
Yeah, Nicole Gilliard a little too quick on that first step as she wanted to make a drive to the basket. I think it's a combination of both, some struggles for both teams on the offensive end, but at the same time, both teams are playing well defensively, forcing some of those struggles. Bedregal
still in running the point for the Rams. Carrie Langford on the bench. Outside to Liz Mormon at the top of the key. She's working inside to Sydney Clayton. In the lane, back out to Liz Mormon. Mormon will put her shoulder down, drive in, tries to go up and in, but will draw contact and will go to the line for two.
It looks like that foul goes on Brittany Stowovi. Stowovi committing the personal and really in that case helping to bail Liz Mormon out as Mormon was up under so far. Her shot came off that underneath side of the backboard.
Mormon shot up and good, draws the Rams to within one.
Liz Mormon shooting 60% from the foul line, 12 of 20 on the season. Misses that second free throw as it comes off this side of the iron. So the Bobcats will head the other way.
Foul line jumper up and off the back of the iron. Good rebound by Sydney Clayton. She'll work it back up the court with some speed, looking to catch the numbers, but we'll slow it down and set up the offense.
Can the Rams finally take the lead? The Bobcats have been stuck at 10 points for a very long time. Shepherd's done it on the defensive end. Can they take the lead this offensive trip down the floor?
Well, Shepherd's got the size down low. I don't think they're utilizing the bodies they have down low enough. Stop jumper in the lane. Some contact. No foul called on McLaughlin. She misses the shot, and up come the Bobcats.
Yeah, Gaybauer there defensively to get a hand up, maybe a little contact as well. Either way, she altered that shot, and the Bobcats are the other way.
Outside jumper up and good as the Bobcats break their scoreless streak of just about a quarter of action.
And Gaybauer with that jumper, and she's really been their offense in the early going of this game as well.
So Shepherd now a 3-point deficit as they have been crawling back into this one.
She's got at least 8 of the 12 points as she knocked down a couple of threes in that opening quarter.
Good snag by Lauren Reed on the wing. Liz Mormon's pass a little bit high. Sydney Clayton going to put that shoulder down, nowhere to go. Works inside of Liz Mormon, wide open layup, and it will not fall off the front of the iron. Ball batted around and will stay. Shepherd Ram basketball, man. Mormon wants that one back bad.
Oh, yeah, she made a great cut down the right side of the lane. The feed was to her in stride where she could turn and lay it up, but had it maybe a little too strong as it rolled around and came off that front iron.
Kayla Tibbs and Carrie Langford back in now for Shepherd. Pass goes inbounds to Mormon, then Langford will take it back at the point and set up the offense. Over in the corner to McLaughlin. She's got nowhere to go with the ball. Now down deeper in the corner. That'll go to Kayla Tibbs inside to Sydney Clayton. Looking for Liz Mormon and pass a little behind Mormon. Let's look at the speed there. Up and in. Good speed right there for number 24, Abby Gaybauer. Carrie Langford setting up the Ram offense, who's yet to really find their rhythm. Trying to work it inside to Liz Mormon, outside to Kayla Tibbs. She's on the right wing. That'll be off the front of the iron. And back the other way will be the Bobcats.
Yet another three-point attempt for Shepherd that comes off the iron. Still cannot get that outside shot to go.
Which, again, I'm not really understanding with the size they have down low. They have a couple inches down low, both with Sydney Clayton and Liz Mormon, as Mormon will come out of the game, along with McLaughlin.
Last trip down the floor, they made that effort to get it inside to Liz Mormon, just not enough of a passing lane to be able to get it to her as it was stolen.
Hannah Myers back in the game for the Rams along with Lauren Reed. Sydney Clayton, Kayla Tibbs, and Carrie Langford, the 5 on the court for Shepherd. Works down low, wide open jump shot, up and good.
There's Gabauer again. She was open on that left baseline just outside the paint, and she's upwards of 10 points, which is above her average. She came in averaging about 9.5 points a game.
Right now, she is the Shepherd or the West Virginia Wesleyan offense. Outside three-pointer, high arcing shot. Kayla Tibbs up and good.
There you go. Finally, the Rams able to get that three-point jumper to go. Typically on the season, they've been shooting about 47% from beyond the arc.
3 at the other end, up and no good as Hannah Myers brings the rebound down up to Carrie Langford as she will move it across the half-court line. Up to Sydney Clayton, up, draws contact, and it's good.
Yeah, good body control by Sydney Clayton to pull that one in, stay between the defender and the basketball, lay it up and in, and draw contact.
And a good job by Sydney Clayton, who had been sitting down there waiting for the basketball, got it a little bit late, but was able to, as you said, fight through the contact and get to the foul line.
Alexa Silong picking up the personal, and that will be her second.
Foul shot up, and it is good in a 1-point game like it was at 10-9. Now Shepherd inching ever closer at 16-15.
You just keep waiting for the Rams to eventually get that lead.
The Bobcats do get the ball in, but again, a good press. Coach Eckelberry's been working that press since they had that 6-point deficit, and it's been working. A couple steals, but they have been putting that pressure on, and at the other end, it's going to be a basket and the foul.
Victoria Jackson, 5'8" sophomore out of Marietta, Georgia, with the nice drive. Sydney Clayton trying to block the shot, swatted down at it and made contact, and somehow Jackson had enough muscle to get it up and put it in.
Jackson's foul shot up, and it is good.
Again, every time the Rams draw within a point or two, the Bobcats find a way to get a basket and push the lead back out.
He's working on this side of Clayton, over to Hannah Myers, who's going to kick it back outside to Lauren Reed. A dangerous pass over to Kayla Tibbs. Brought back down. Sydney Clayton trying to work it inside. She has the ball stripped, and I believe we're going to get a jump ball here. We will.
A good hustle. Hannah Myers coming in there to get her hands on it along with Abby Gabauer.
And boy, is that pass by Lauren Reed a little bit dangerous to Kayla Tibbs.
Yeah, across the floor, the entire width of the floor, and a lob pass at that, but they got away with that one.
Just about halfway through this second quarter of action, 5:03 left in this first half, 19-15 the score. Bobcats in front. Inbounds pass goes to Lauren Reed. She'll bring it back out top, working over to Hannah Myers. Back out to Reed, up to Carrie Langford at the top of the key, working it inside to Sydney Clayton. Carrie Langford bobbles it a little bit at the top. Lauren Reed from deep up and off the front of the iron as the shot clock was expiring. Bobcats will work it back up into their offensive zone. 2 wide open players from 3, up, and it is good. 3-pointer up. Brittany Stowovi again. That's what we're going with. As Carrie Langford works it back up over to Hannah Myers, inside to Sydney Clayton, who barely saves it, but outside Shepherd will get the offense back. Carrie Langford up, and she will draw the contact and go to the line for 2.
Yeah, again, if Clayton could have been able to handle that pass initially, she had a shot right in the lane. It went off of her hands. She saved it from going out of bounds, and then Langford with a nice drive down the right side of the lane will get free throws.
Timeout on the court. We will take one as well. 4:22 left here in the second quarter of action. The Bobcats of West Virginia Wesleyan lead the Rams 22-15. We'll be back with the rest of the first half of action next. This is Shepherd basketball on TV10 and WRNR-TV.
When you're hurting, we're here. When things are confusing, we're here. When you need answers, we're here. Brown Funeral Home. We've been caring for families like yours for generations, since 1880. Whether you want to plan ahead or you need us now. Our families are precious to us, and so are yours. Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown Ranson. We're here when you need us. When you're hurting, we're here. When things are confusing,
and we welcome you back into the Butcher Center. 4:22 left here in the second quarter of action. Carrie Langford at the line shooting 2. First one up, and it is good. Second shot up, and it is good. She gets a pair.
Yeah, Langford solid from the charity stripe. She's a 61% free throw shooter.
The Bobcats working up into the offensive zone. They have the numbers. Good block down low by Sydney Clayton, and Shepard will get the basketball. Hannah Myers will get it off to Carrie Langford. She will bring the ball up the court for the Rams. She's got a lane up the middle. She will kick it back outside, as that should be. No, not deflected. We'll go back to West Virginia Wesleyan. The way that ball came out, look like that may have been deflected, but it will go back to the Bobcats.
Well, and another turnover for each team.
The Bobcats do inbound it. Again, good press by Shepard. But the Bobcats do get it over the timeline. Working it to the outside. Shepard playing good defense down low. Again, have that size advantage down low. Good defense. Batting it away was Hannah Myers.
Shepard again doing a nice job getting into passing lanes, getting those hands out there, extending that defense, making it tough on West Virginia Wesleyan.
Again, Wesleyan still looking for their first win on the season, coming in 0-4, 0-2 in the Mountain East Conference. As they inbound the ball, looking for a quick pick and roll at the top of the key. They will not get it. Oh, and McLaughlin left her feet, leaving a wide open pass. Floater down low, up and in.
Nice job working that basketball to Anastasia Karevanova.
In the game now for the Shepherd Rams in Angela DiLorenzo. Her first action of the game today. As McLaughlin tried to drive down low, had that ball blocked away by a couple of Bobcat defenders. They work it the other way, up, and that is up and in.
Stowovi with a nice drive, took it right to the rim. No one really stopped her.
And just like that, the Bobcats on a little bit of a run after they had gone scoreless for just about a quarter of action. Working it down low, Sydney Clayton. She will go a little too hard off the glass, I think expecting contact, but it will stay Shepherd Ram basketball as Liz Mormon will return into the game for Sydney Clayton.
It's just been a tough shooting first half so far for the Rams. You got to hope that eventually as this game goes along, some of those shots begin to fall.
Kayla Tibbs receives that inbound pass. Mormon will go to DiLorenzo at the top of the key. It'll be Kayla Tibbs from the outside. She misses one off the front of the iron. Batted around and will go back to West Virginia Wesleyan.
Be anxious to see those official numbers when we get them at the half, but it has not been good from beyond the arc. Just one make, and I'm looking at just unofficially about 8 or so misses. Quickly the other way, that's Karevanova who missed that one, and Shepard in the offensive end.
Outside, good jump fake. Carrie Langford will get fouled, and she will go to the line for 2.
And all she could do as that one kind of came off the back rim was look up towards the scoreboard. You could see her eyes kind of roll back as she was like, what do I have to do to get one of these to fall? It's been that kind of first half shooting for Shepard. Langford at the line. First foul shot up and good. Shepard has done well from the charity stripe in this first half. 26-18. The Rams cutting into that deficit. DiLorenzo checks back out of the lineup for Shepard. Second free throw up, and that one is good. So Langford gets them both. And the Rams back within 7, trailing 26-19. 2:16 to go in our first half. Bedrigal back. Good Ram defense. They really played well defensively this entire first half. 3-ball and air ball from this left wing as Abby Gebauer put that one up, but missed it a little bit wide. Out of bounds to Shepherd. Big possession with just under 2 minutes to play in this first half. Let's see what the Rams can do. Bedrigal working that one off to Reed. Reed again on that left side of the floor has it, down to 8 seconds on that shot clock, and Bedrigal going for a foul line jumper, and we've got a whistle and a foul away from the ball. That looks like that'll go on Liz Mormon. That's a turnover.
We understand we're having some technical difficulties with the TV 10 feed, a little bit of lag. We are working to fix that feed as we go, but apparently the feed on YouTube looking pretty good right now. So again, stick with us. We're trying to adjust that here on the fly. Again, 1:20 left here in the first half of action. 26-19, the Bobcats have the lead. They work it down low, and good positioning. Good block by Hannah Myers down low, and that'll be Shepherd Ram basketball. Great block down low by Hannah Myers, who stopped a wide open layup.
Yeah, that helped defense. Victoria Jackson catching that ball with a defender in front of her, thought she could easily turn and put it up and in, but Hannah Myers was there from the weak side to block the shots. And now a turnover. Again, a tough pass trying to get it to Myers, cutting down the right side of the lane, and she couldn't handle it cleanly. It ultimately goes off of her and out of bounds. Just too tight a passing lane that time to try to get it to Myers. Under a minute to play in our first half, 26-19. West Virginia Wesleyan with the lead. Substitution coming, it looks like. But first, the inbounds. It's Hughes working it across midcourt. Hughes to the foul line. Really caught, eventually able to get rid of it, and Jackson loses control on the left side of the floor, and it goes off of her and out of bounds. So the Rams will get it back, still down 7, 39.3 to play in our first half. Another opportunity for Shepherd to cut into this deficit. Bedrigal into the front court, and we've got a whistle and a foul. That one going on the Bobcats, and apparently away from the ball, as the free throw shooter will be Hannah Myers. Foul, by the way, on Abby Gebauer. Myers' free throw did not go. That went off the iron.
Myers only a 50% free throw shooter on the year, but hasn't been to the line all that often. Just 3 for 6, now 3 for 7. That one up and good for Myers. 30 seconds left, Shepherd within 6. As Wesleyan will have to shoot the basketball here, but it could be the very last shot. Almost synced up are the shot clock and game clock. Only a second separating the two, and it looks like that's what Wesleyan will do. Try to get the last shot of this half. Again, mostly working around the perimeter, trying to set some low ball screens. Shot from the left wing up, and it is good.
Yes, DeWovie says, I'm not waiting for the final shot. I've got an open look, and she took it.
And that is a big shot as Bedrigal tries to get the prayer 3 at the end of the half, but that will not go. It's a big three-pointer down the stretch for Wesleyan. 29-20 halftime here at the Butcher Center in Shepherdstown. We're going to take a 2-minute break. When we come back, we'll break down some of the numbers and tell you what else is going on around the Mountain East Conference. A plethora of action tonight around the conference. All that coming up next. Again, at the half, West Virginia Wesleyan with the 29-20 lead here in Shepherdstown. This is Shepherd Ram basketball on TV 10 and WRNR TV.
hurting, we're here. When things are confusing, we're here. When you need answers, we're here. Brown Funeral Home. We've been caring for families like yours for generations, since 1880. Whether you want to plan ahead or you need us now. Our families are precious to us, and so are yours. Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson. We're here when you need us.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
W Medicine has planted itself here, and they're the first university that I've found who wants to take ownership of this population of Western Maryland, Southern Pennsylvania, Eastern Ohio, and the good people of West Virginia. And it's really refreshing to see.
I was able to do things that the patients were going away for, which is good for the patients, and it's good for us because we have more resources. Certainly has helped take us to another level.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
All right, we are back once again here at the Butcher Athletics Center. You see the scoreboard at the half. It's the West Virginia Wesleyan Bobcats looking for their first win on the season, leading 29-20. A very tough shooting first half for the Shepherd Rams. Played well on the defensive end of the floor, but just never really got things going offensively in the half. Let's take a look at just some of the numbers. And when you look at the shooting percentage for Wesleyan, 43% from the floor, that's 12 of 28, and 44% from beyond the arc as they knocked down 4 out of 9. They were 1 for 1 from the foul line, but for the Shepherd Rams, shooting just 24% in the first half, making 6 of 25 shots, including just 1 of 11 from beyond the three-point arc. Strong at the line, 78%, as they have made 7 out of 9 free throws, but the tough shooting is the reason why the Rams trail by 9. And coming in, Shepherd had been shooting so well from beyond the arc. They hadn't taken a ton of three-point shots, 64 in all, knocking down 30 of those for 47% shooting from beyond the arc. But today, shooting just 9% in the first half again, just 1 for 11. Meanwhile, the Rams shooting almost 51% from the field so far this season, and that down to just 24%. So you see how much this offense has struggled through the first half in this one. You've got to hope that they can come out in this second half and eventually get that shot going. Defensively, they've done a nice job forcing 11 turnovers out of the Bobcats. However, the Rams have also turned it over 12 times themselves. And as for rebounding, well, 20-17, Wesleyan has the lead, so just a slight advantage by 3 in that rebounding category. When you look at assists, Shepherd has had 6. The Bobcats have had 7. 4 blocked shots for Wesleyan. Shepherd has had 2 blocked shots. And when you look at the individual totals, leading the way, Abby Gaybauer for the Bobcats with 10 points, 8 for Brittany Stowovi. Meanwhile, for the Rams, the top point getter, 2 players at 5 each, Kayla Tibbs and Sydney Clayton at 5 apiece. Carrie Langford has scored 4, but Shepherd not getting the scoring in this first half as they trail 29-20. At the end of the opening quarter, it was a 10-8 lead for the Bobcats as they sat on 10 points for at least half of that first quarter. And even into that second quarter, it took a while before they finally got going again offensively and ultimately outscored Shepherd 19-12 in that second quarter. And the Bobcats have the lead 29-20 here at the intermission. You know that Coach Jenna Eckelberry is in that locker room right now talking with her team about keeping up that defensive pressure. They've been very good in the half-court man-to-man, and they ran a lot of three-quarter to full-court trap in that first half that helped to force some turnovers and give them some opportunities. You got to imagine on the other end, offensively, they've got to find a way to work it inside as much as possible. And maybe if they get that inside game going, they'll begin to knock down some of those outside shots, shooting just 1 of 11 from beyond the arc in this first half.
All right, again, sorry about the technical difficulties we're apparently having on TV 10. The YouTube stream seems to be pretty good, and on the Mountain East Conference website and the Shepherd Ram website if you're watching on there. But again, if you're tuning in on TV 10, again, sorry about some of the lag we have had here in the first half. Hopefully going to be good here in the second half and into the guys' game. Again, tipping just about 20 minutes to a half hour after the girls' game. Good half for Shepherd defensively. Again, I'm probably going to reiterate a lot of the stuff you just said, trying to figure out some of these technical difficulties. But a good half defensively for Shepherd. But again, we see a lot of quick shots when they haven't been able to set up the offense. And again, haven't been able to get everybody quite involved yet. At least everybody has seemed to take their fair share of shots. But not everybody has been able to capitalize on those shots.
Well, you're looking at Kayla Tibb, who has made just 3 of 13 shots in all. Sydney Clayton, 2 of 5 shooting, 0 of 4 for Marley McLaughlin. Liz Moorman has made 1 of 3 shots. Lauren Reed, 0 for 6, as she's missed 3 from inside the arc and 3 shots from outside the arc. So you get an idea just in those numbers how challenging it has been for Shepherd to find a way to put the ball in the bucket.
It is going to be awfully hard to win this basketball game if they duplicate what they did in the first half and only make 14 field goals. That is going to be extremely hard to win this basketball game. But also, you don't see numbers that low often. So you can't imagine that they're going to duplicate that in the second half. And again, they're still in this game. It's a single-digit game, and it was a late 3 in that first half that got to this 9-point deficit for Shepherd. So I think they're going to regroup at halftime and hopefully come out stronger than they did in the first half.
Yeah, you look for them, again, to keep playing well on that defensive end, just like they've been doing. It's on the offensive end where they've got to find a way to score.
All right, we're going to take a 1-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll take a look at what else is going on around the Mountain East Conference. A couple of games going on. In fact, all the conferences playing right now in the Mountain East. That coming up next. Again, your halftime score right now, 29 points for West Virginia Wesleyan, 20 for Shepherd. You're watching Shepherd Ram basketball on TV 10 and WRNR TV.
When you're hurting, we're here. When things are confusing, we're here. When you need answers, we're here. Brown Funeral Home. We've been caring for families like yours for generations, since 1880. Whether you want to plan ahead or you need us now. Our families are precious to us, and so are yours. Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson. We're here when you need us.
And we welcome you back into the Butcher Center on the campus of Shepherd University. The Rams in action right now, down 29-20 second half of action just minutes away. But Matt, some intriguing matchups in women's basketball today. The entire Mountain East Conference is in action today. Let's get it started with West Virginia State and UVA-Wise. That game right now as we get that score. Second quarter, 1:57 left in the second quarter, tied at 40. Again, that's West Virginia State and UVA-Wise.
Oh, and you're talking two teams right there that are tied in the conference standings, each 2-3 overall and 1-1 in league play.
A tight game against a 1-4 Fairmont State team taking on a 5-0 Glenville State team. Glenville State, one of the best teams in Division II when it comes to women's basketball. Right now, Glenville State at halftime, only a 5-point lead, 44-39.
Well, Fairmont State trying to snap a 3-game slide that has them at just 1-4, and that includes 0-2 in the league.
Looking at Charleston and Concord, it is a 34-32 game. Charleston has that 2-point advantage. That game also at the half.
And that's a huge game at the top of the standings. Charleston right now is tied with Glenville State at 2-0 in the league, 5-1 overall, and so too is Concord, 2-0 in the league, but 4-1 overall. So that's a huge one between the Mountain Lions and the Golden Eagles.
A game already into the second half of action. It's Wheeling Jesuit and Notre Dame. Right now it's Notre Dame, the 33-26 lead that game in the third quarter.
Notre Dame's 3-2, 1-1 in league play. Wheeling Jesuit 3-3 overall, but also 1-1 in league play.
And a blowout right now between the Hilltoppers of West Liberty and Urbana. Urbana 0-4 in the conference. A 4-3 West Liberty team who's 1-1 in the Mountain East. Right now it's the Hilltoppers at halftime, up 52-27 all over Urbana. And that is what's going on around the Mountain East Conference right now. Again, every single Mountain East Conference team in action.
Oh, and that includes our game here, 29-20, as the Bobcats of West Virginia Wesleyan looking for their first win this season and have that big halftime lead. Matt, you talked about it in the pregame. You look at their first couple of games, they were within 7 points in one loss, 8 points in another before the last two games have been a lot more lopsided, so they've been close. Let's see if they've learned anything from those games that might give them an opportunity to hold on in this one.
Absolutely, and it should be a good sign. I'm interested to see, because the last game we were able to call the last game that Shepherd had was against Charleston, and they came out, and we expected them to have a better second half, and quite frankly, they did not.
Well,
and
not in the third. Fourth quarter they didn't play well.
They came in strong, but then again, you're looking at a Charleston team who is pretty confident they're going to have that win. So it'll be interesting to see what halftime adjustments look like in this game, and whether they can truly take advantage of the little bit of a break they've just had and come out stronger here in the second half.
Got to get it done on the offensive end. Again, we've said it all halftime. They've played well defensively, well enough to have the lead in this one, but when you shoot 24% from the floor and 9% from beyond the arc, you're not going to win many basketball games.
And again, a stat that'll just blow your mind, just 7 made field goals in the first half. That you can't duplicate that if you're going to win a ball game. 14 made field goals throughout an entire game isn't going to get you too many in that W column.
Now, what's keeping them in it right now, I guess you'd say, is a free throw line, where they are 7 of 9 compared to just 1 for 1 from the line for West Virginia Wesleyan, considering that the Bobcats have made 16 shots from the floor compared to the Rams 7.
And what's keeping them in this game also, it's defense.
Yeah.
Their defense is playing phenomenal. They've been able to work the press in the backcourt an awful lot. Not a whole lot of turnovers being forced, but forcing West Virginia Wesleyan to really push the ball up and make passes they don't want to make. So if they can keep up that defensive pressure on the press and when they're in the defensive end of the court, I think they're going to be okay in the second half of action, which is getting underway right now. It'll be Wesleyan basketball here to start the second. Again, tight pressure at the top, right around the midcourt line for Shepherd. Good double team by Langford and McLaughlin. Three-corner from the right wing up, and there's no good offensive rebound, but nowhere to go, as it'll be another setup from the left wing now. Again, off the iron, but a good block down low by Sidney Clayton after an offensive rebound. Again, the offensive rebounds, an area Shepherd has struggled with as well.
Yeah, back-to-back offensive rebounds in that first half. Only 3 offensive rebounds for Wesleyan.
Up and good, and a quick inbound basket.
Yeah, backdoor cut down the left side of the lane for Gaybauer, and she was able to put it up and in.
Have you said that name enough tonight, Matt?
I tell you, she's had a very strong first half and starting well in this second half.
Starting five back on the court from the beginning of the game for the Rams. And McLaughlin works inside. Liz Mormon has trouble getting that basketball. I think she could have turned in and made a good move towards the basket. Carrie Langford driving it up and off the front of the iron, will not go, but will be a West Virginia Wesleyan basketball. I thought that went off one of the Bobcats, but they will get the basketball.
Now, it looked like from this angle, through the camera at least, Sydney Clayton was the one who got a hand between those two Bobcat defenders who had her boxed out to get a hand on it, but obviously couldn't do much with it but tip it out of bounds.
Bobcats will bring it over the timeline, over into the left corner. Bobbled a little bit in that left corner. As they're working around that left side, over out. Long two-point basket up, and it is in a long two as West Virginia Wesleyan coming out hot here in the second half.
Go ahead, say that name again.
Gaybauer?
There it is.
I was going to give you the honor there, but I'll take it from you.
Well, she had 10 in the first half. She's got 4 more already early on in this third quarter.
Kayla Tibbs from the outside, the right wing. She will take the three off the front of the iron. Good offensive rebound by Liz Mormon. Send it over to Carrie Langford, who will drive back inside to Liz Mormon. She will go up and under, but I believe, thought they were going to get her with a travel right there, but going to get contact and the basket.
No, that was a nice move. Very nice move. As Mormon got the rebound, got it out front, they got it right back into her, and a nice up and under. Went to her right and got the defender off balance, came back to her left. That's a great play.
And that's something that Shepherd has to be able to do more. They have the size advantage down low, so that a bunch in the first half, they've got to be able to use that size down low to get back into this ball game. Mormon's foul shot up, and it is good. 10-point ball game now, 33-23. And a quick foul as West Virginia Wesleyan was coming down the court in a hurry.
Now that full court pressure again by the Rams. This time Tyra Hughes, the 5'6" junior guard out of Walkersville High in nearby Walkersville, Maryland, just drove it right down the floor. Ultimately, the Rams were trailing her and trying to reach in, and Mormon commits her second foul.
Inbound came from the far sideline, and again, good pressure up top for Shepherd. But that's going to leave somebody open down low, and luckily able to get back on defense as there was 2 wide-open Bobcats standing down low. Again, almost a turnover, but able to get it back is West Virginia Wesleyan out in the left wing. Shot up, and it is off the back of the iron, and another offensive rebound for the Bobcats. The 4th already here in the second half.
Yeah, and just a tough break there. It's a long shot, and sometimes those threes, when they carry them off the rim, bring long rebounds.
Also gives them a fresh shot clock. And right now at the lead, they're okay wasting a little bit more time each possession. Working it around the perimeter. Really nobody fighting down low. Drive in the middle of the lane, and that'll be a turnover picked up in the middle by Hannah Myers as she moves it up to Carrie Langford. Langford looking for McLaughlin, cutting down low, but a good job to hold that ball. McLaughlin from the right corner. She will have it go off the front of the iron.
And that's 0 of 2 from beyond the arc after 1 of 11 in the first half. So the tough shooting from outside continuing for the Rams.
Again, a long 2, and that is up, and it is good. Number 24. I'll let you say it again, Matt.
Abby Gaybauer. She's just played a phenomenal game here today. She came in averaging about 9.5 points, well above that average.
Shepherd looking to get something going here in the second half. They've gotten a few buckets, but similar to the first half, you just don't feel that consistency or them really getting into a rhythm. As McLaughlin has the ball at the top of the key, moves it over to Kayla Tibbs, who will drive down the center of the lane, work it up, and that will be a walk. Took a couple too many steps.
Yeah, got into that traffic and wasn't able to go up when she wanted to. Ultimately put the foot back down again before trying to get the shot up. An easy call, a travel.
Again, Shepherd's still working that press. You'd like to see a couple more bodies up on that press. They're doing such a good job trapping. Then one pass, and they're free. Down low, Gaybauer, an air ball, a rare miss. As Shepherd will work it back up the other way, Kayla Tibbs working up into the front court. She's going to stop. Thought she was going to pull up for the 3. She'll work it back up top to Langford. This time from the right wing, the 3 off the back of the iron, too strong.
0 for 3 in the second half. That's 1 for 14 on the ball game now. Not shooting well from outside.
Picking up right where they left off in the first half, where they also struggled from beyond the arc.
Yeah, 9%.
I wasn't going to give the exact number.
And it's going down.
Good drive down low for the Bobcats. Kick it outside from the left wing, up and off the front of the iron. and Shepherd will bring it back the other way.
And nice rebound, Hannah Myers.
Tyra Hughes missed that three on the offensive end for the Bobcats. Carrie Langford in the paint, kicks it back outside to McLaughlin. Langford will put that left shoulder down, drive, floater up, and she will draw contact.
That's one where she felt that contact, knew the foul was coming, and just made sure she got that ball somewhere up towards the rim and never got close to it, but that way she'll get 2 free throws.
Langford, as you said, at the line for 2. 35-23 game. Wesleyan has the lead, cuts it to 11. First shot up and in for Langford. A couple of substitutions as Sydney Clayton will come into the game along with Lauren Reed as Kayla Tibbs and McLaughlin take a seat on the bench.
Now Bedrigal going to check back into the lineup as well. Lindsay is a 5'2" junior guard out of Grace Academy in nearby Hagerstown.
A little bit of the smaller lineup look right now for Shepherd. Still have Liz Mormon out there and Sydney Clayton, but a smaller in the guard position in the backcourt. And some contact on the perimeter, and it will be the 3rd team foul for the Rams. Wesleyan will inbound it from our near sideline.
Yeah, Lauren Reed picking up that personal after that quick first step from Victoria Jackson. Jackson gave a little head fake right, and then boom, she went left and drew the foul.
Inbound pass goes up top. Martin in a little bit of trouble is able to get rid of it over to Hughes. Again, a scrum for the ball. Wesleyan seemed to come up with each one of those loose balls here in this ball game.
Yeah, Gilliard and Reed colliding going after that loose ball, but they let them play.
Hughes trying to find somebody, works it over to Martin. She will put up a deep 3 off the front of the iron, get her own rebound out to Hughes. She will drive and have to kick it back out. Deep 3 up, and it is good.
Stawovi from straight away, able to knock down that 3, and this one's slipping just a little bit away from Shepherd.
And right now, Wesleyan shooting very well from deep, not necessarily just beyond the arc, but even the deep 2s they've gotten here in the second half. Lauren Reed from the right corner, that shot up and good, and a much-needed 3-point basket for the Rams.
Just the second made 3 this entire game in roughly 15 attempts.
And hopefully that'll spark something offensively for the Rams. They need more of those. Up and good, just like that. Again, a 12-point game by who, Matt?
Gabauer, she was open on that left baseline. The Rams continue to put on that pressure, but right now they're expending so much energy, and with those double teams, someone's open, and the Bobcats are finding that open player.
Bedrigal having to calm her dribble down a little bit. It was up over top of her head. She goes over to Lauren Reed on the right wing, inside to Liz Mormon. Mormon's going to lower that shoulder floater in the lane off the front of the iron. And that ball go back to West Virginia Wesleyan after it was deflected out of bounds. Media timeout on the floor. We will take one as well. Right now, 3:54 left here in the third quarter of action. 12-point lead for the Bobcats. West Virginia Wesleyan 40, Shepherd 28. This is Shepherd Ram basketball on TV 10 and WRNR TV.
Specifically honoring the 1999 WBA Conference Championship team. While not able to get eliminated, the Rams get to the ball at 2.
I can talk, right?
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
W Medicine has planted itself here, and they're the first university that I've found who wants to take ownership of this population, of Western Maryland, Southern Pennsylvania, Eastern Ohio, and the good people of West Virginia. And it's really refreshing to see.
I was able to do things that the patients were going away for, which is good for the patients, and it's good for us because we have more resources. Certainly has helped take us to another level.
We welcome you back into the Butcher Center on the campus of Shepherd University. 3:53 left here in the third quarter of action. It is a 40-28 lead for the West Virginia Wesleyan Bobcats as they get another chance to inbound. They do get it across that half-court line and break the press up and in. A quick basket after the timeout. Not sure that's what Jen Eckleberry drew up.
Yeah, that's Victoria Jackson able to get the look in the lane.
Shepherd needs to not turn the ball. Just about to say he needs to be careful with the basketball. And right on cue, a turnover for the Rams. West Virginia Wesleyan will have the basketball.
Matt, another struggle offensively for Shepherd has just been handling passes. How many times have we seen them bobble or juggle or not make a clean reception?
And how many times have we seen offensive rebounds lucked out there as they're going to get a traveling call, and Shepherd will get the basketball back.
Yeah, that was Hughes with the long three from the left side, and as Victoria Jackson was trying to bring in that rebound, ultimately ended up on the ground.
3:19 left as the inbound comes to Bedregal. And Shepherd needs to, I don't want to say rush possessions or rush shots, have a little bit of urgency as this 14-point lead can't get much bigger as this third quarter is slowly dwindling away in a possession by Hannah Myers where she never looked comfortable with that basketball.
No, she didn't, and Gaybauer was there to help block that shot in the end.
So Wesleyan has the basketball now, under 3 to play in this third quarter. Give and go, up and in. Good take by number 34, Victoria Jackson.
Yeah, Jackson has shown that quick first step all along.
Bedregal trying to work it inside, has no lane to go. Inside of Hannah Myers, and a bad pass by Hannah Myers. Looking for Liz Mormon. Mormon nowhere to be found as Wesleyan will move back the other way. Quick jump stop, up and good. Great jump stop and good jump shot for Tyra Hughes. Man, this game is slowly slipping away from the Rams.
I wouldn't even say slowly. It's falling quickly. I've kind of wondered if head coach Jenna Eckleberry may call a timeout, but right now she's going to let her team play through it.
Bedregal from the left wing and misses that one by a few feet. Air ball and other way. Coming up, had the numbers. Stop, pop, shot, and rattles around. Wide open shot for Wesleyan, but could not get it to fall. And it'll be a Shepherd Ram basketball. A wide open shot for Brittany Stowovi, but she could not get that one to hit the bottom of the net. Only took me the whole game, but I'll get it.
That's not the whole game. 1:55 left in the third. Stowovi. Just so folks will know, it's Stawovy.
Usually don't see a W, a V, and a Y in names. The end of the alphabet usually doesn't get a whole lot of love in last names. Bedregal gets it over the half-court line, looking to set up the offense. Looking to the sideline for some instruction from head coach Jen Eckleberry. Back up top, Carrie Langford in the game. Usually don't see those two in the game. Bedregal and Carrie Langford at the same time, and Langford draws contact and will go to the line for two.
Yeah, nice job working down the left side of the lane. Gave a little ball fake, got the defender off balance, drew the contact, and now 2 free throws will come. Langford in that first half had 4 points, and they all came from the line. 4 for 4.
Make that 5 for 5 as she drops that first one, getting Shepherd to 29, inching ever closer to that 30-point mark. Second shot up, and it is good. 46-30, the score after 2 free throws from Carrie Langford, and you see that press yet again for Shepherd. And they'll get a traveling violation. Good stop for Shepherd right there. They did end up using that extra person to come in and trap, and I think that caught West Virginia Wesleyan off guard.
Yes, Stowovi initially thought she had a passing lane, but it quickly filled, and that forced the extra step as she was caught between the 2 defenders.
Big last couple of possessions here for Shepherd. With 1 minute and 23 remaining here in the third quarter, they need a couple of baskets, and they need a couple of big defensive stops. Bedregal working that offense over to Carrie Langford on the right wing. Works it across court to McLaughlin as they work it around the perimeter. Langford from just inside the 3-point line off the back of the iron. A almost offensive rebound by Liz Mormon. And a even better job keeping that ball in. Number 34, Victoria Jackson, did a phenomenal job of keeping that ball in. But at the other end of the court, they had numbers. A traveling violation that will go on number 24, Gaybauer. and will be a Shepherd Ram basketball. So good defense right there.
Yeah, got a little too fast on the offensive end, and you could see that from head coach Vicki Bullitt on the sideline as she was telling her players, whoa, slow it down.
Again, Shepherd needs a couple of baskets here with just seconds left to play here in the third. Kayla Tibbs driving in. Hard take. Nice take by Kayla Tibbs. She puts it up and in.
Yeah, nice drive from the right wing. Got inside, just a little bit of contact as she was putting it up, but she was not going to be denied.
That was one of the better takes we've seen all day from this Shepherd Ram offense. 46-32, 23 seconds left to play here in this third quarter. Working it around the outside. About 6 seconds. Differentiates the shot and game clock up and good. 2 points for the Bobcats.
Yeah, Victoria Jackson again with a nice drive.
Carrie Langford drives in, and she will draw contact again. And that is the way she is getting into that score column, is driving, drawing contact, and getting to that foul line. 6 for 6 on the day.
Anastasia, no, it's Tyra Hughes who picked up the foul. I thought it was 33. Karavanova who may have gotten that personal. But Hughes called with her second.
Some substitutions late in the third quarter. Shot up, and it is good.
Now she gets 1 out of 2. The Rams inch a little closer, and now I believe a foul in the backcourt. Wow, that was a tough one on Langford, reaching in, trying to take the basketball away from Hughes.
Fortunately for the Rams, not in the bonus yet are the Bobcats, so I don't want to say a smart foul, but a foul that isn't going to cost them too much. A deep shot up and off the side of the backboard. No good for the Bobcats. 48-33, the score after 3 quarters of action here in Shepherdstown. 4th quarter of action coming up next here from the Butcher Center. This is Shepherd Ram basketball on TV 10 and WRNR TV.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons. With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states.
Inside, had the ball in the paint, and again drew the contact. Shepherd gets that inbounds outside to Kayla Tibbs. Works it down to Liz Mormon, trying to fight her way up and in. She will not, but she'll get her own rebound. Again, tries. This time it will fall. Good effort by Liz Mormon.
Yeah, nice drive. Left the initial layup short, but she stayed with it and eventually got the shot.
And Shepherd's going to need a lot more of that effort and a lot more of those offensive rebounds. They need to crawl back into this game. 48-35, just over 9 left to play here in this ball game. Turnaround jumper off the back of the iron. Gaybauer, a rare miss on the day as Shepherd will work it back up into the offensive zone. Bedrigal will work it from the top of the key.
Every possession right now important for the Rams, down by 13.
And that's a big shot for Kayla Tibbs. Thought she could have lowered her shoulder and drove and tried to get some contact down low. Maybe an easier shot, but a good jump shot for Tibbs. 48-37 now. Shepherd hitting a few key baskets here early in the 4th quarter.
Got to keep it up defensively.
They're now playing tight defense. Not a lot of movement on the side of the Bobcats. I think trying more or less, is there some contact and a tic-tac foul. I think if you ask Liz Mormon, but definitely some contact there. But I should say Carrie Langford instead of Liz Mormon. Langford not happy with that foul call.
I think maybe what she's not happy with was the timing of the whistle, because clearly there was contact there from our angle, but the whistle maybe just a touch late as she was knocking that ball free.
And a fresh 30 on the shot clock, which is something that I think Wesleyan will enjoy. Shepherd, you don't want to give them more than 30 seconds on each shot clock. Good turnaround jumper. Good fadeaway, number 33, Karanova. Liz Mormon getting that ball, working it back outside, over, driving in, then the give to Langford. She will go up and in, and she's robbed of a shot there as it rattles in and out, and the other way come the Bobcats. Gaybauer looking over for Hughes. She's trapped there. Working inside, floater in the lane, and some contact drawn. And Karanova will go to the line for two.
Yeah, pretty good drive to the bucket, if you will, for the 6-foot junior out of Bulgaria. Rock Valley Community College before heading off to West Virginia Wesleyan.
She will go to the line for two. Her free throw percentage on the year 1 for 4. Make that 2 for 5. That one rattles in.
And pushes that lead back out to 14. Still time in this one for Shepherd. But again, every possession so important. The hard part about being down by this deficit, they're going to expend a ton of energy in this fourth quarter.
And that one is good. Draws her free throw percentage from 25 to 50 on one foul. 52 to 37. Kickball will stay with the Rams. Langford inbounds it from our near sideline, gets it into Bedrigal, who has a lane up the middle, will give it off to Sydney Clayton, or attempt to, as again, one of those plays you were talking about at halftime, just the hands not really there.
No, not able to handle good looks or clean passes, and it's cost him that one a turnover.
The Bobcats, a lot more movement on offense than we saw at the beginning of the fourth quarter. As they're working it quick around the outside. Gaybauer from 3. She'll miss it off the back of the iron. Brought down by Sydney Clayton. And here come the Rams into the front court. Over into the corner, that is Kayla Tibbs. Kayla Tibbs from the left wing off the back of the iron. And a good rebound by Sydney Clayton. Took one too many dribbles. Had a wide open layup. I think she wanted to get out from right in front of the rim. Went to that left side, but took too many steps. Got some happy feet down low, and negates what would have been a great offensive rebound by Clayton and put back.
It's kind of the story of this night for Shepherd, right? You get an offensive rebound, a good look, you're going to score points, and a turnover on a travel.
Again, Shepherd showing that press. Kayla Tibbs putting pressure in the backcourt. As Wesleyan does get it over the timeline. Works it back inside. Now we'll send it back out into the perimeter. Bodying up down low is Bendergall. Floater in the lane off the side of the rim. Deep 3 from the outside, again off the front of the rim. And another offensive rebound that is bobbled around and brought back in by Lauren Reed. Looking up the court to Kayla Tibbs. Takes one step up off the front of the rim and does get to fall in. Good shot for Kayla Tibbs.
Yeah, nice job by Reed to keep that one alive, to get it to Tibbs for the lay-in.
Timeout on the floor. We will keep it right here, reminding you that if you're looking for the West Virginia basketball game and are out moving about, going to be in your car, listening to your radio somewhere, catch that on AM 740, FM 106.5. The radio side of this whole shindig, the Mountaineers taking on Ryder tonight. Mountaineers off to a little bit of a tough start, if you will. What was the term that Coach Huggins used?
Oh, he was talking about their fundamentals, and that the fundamentals weren't there right now for a young Mountaineer basketball team. They were, I believe his terminology was, atrocious.
The footwork was atrocious.
Yes.
never what you want to hear from. And again, Bob Huggins is never going to sugarcoat anything.
No.
That is one thing you can be certain of. He's never going to sugarcoat, but you never want to hear that from a team that was projected to be number 13 in the country, or was number 13 in the country coming into those the preseason rankings. But a tough start for the Mountaineers, but a young team, so I believe they will bounce back, and they will be back in the top 25 by the time the end of the season comes around.
Matt, while we got a second as well, let's remind our viewers here today that the Shepherd Ram women's and men's basketball teams will be taking part in the Toys for Tots drive, as coming up on December 8th, the next home game. It's a Saturday. Game times at 2 and 4. You are invited to come and bring one unwrapped toy to get one free admission to the game, and the toys will be donated to Toys for Tots.
It's definitely a good thing if you can do it. Definitely a good organization to contribute to, and a good way to get into a basketball game for free and come watch some good basketball. Also, Camper Day on Saturday, so you'll see a lot of
and Women's Basketball Alumni Day.
Yeah, a whole lot going on here next Saturday in Shepherdstown. Bobcats get it across that timeline. Again, they have the 52-39 lead, 6:14 and counting here in the ball game. Gabe Bauer trying to work her way inside. Kayla Tibbs did not move her feet. Good defense down low. And some contact again. It's Carrie Langford with just 4 seconds left on the shot clock. And Coach Eckleberry's hand goes on her head. It's just one of those fouls that you can't make that right there.
Yeah, Zilong's 20 feet from the bucket. Well, 15 feet at least on that right wing.
And again, a fresh shot clock, as Hughes will fire from the right wing. That off the front of the iron, brought down by Kayla Tibbs. And they've got numbers coming up to Shepherd. Tibbs will keep it and didn't know where she wanted to go with that basketball. Almost a double dribble. Tried to yo-yo it back, if you will, and then some contact by McLaughlin. And the foul's now piling up for the Rams.
As you said, an opportunity where Shepherd had numbers, but ultimately the turnover gives it right back to the Bobcats. Again, that type of evening.
It looked like Tibbs just couldn't quite bring that ball back after she wasn't sure which teammate she wanted to go to. Wesleyan has that basketball, 5:25 and counting. Shepherd slowly running out of time in this one, 52-39 your score. Working around the outside, 8 seconds as you hear the crowd give the false shot clock here in the Butcher Center. 1 second left and that ball taken away. Kayla Tibbs working her way up after McLaughlin has a runner over, but she will put it up and over the basket. Thought she may try to get it off to Langford, but does draw the foul. McLaughlin will head to the foul line. She's got 2 shots upcoming, and these foul shots are important. You're scoring with the clock not running.
Yeah, got to have these whenever you get the opportunity. Tyra Hughes committing the personal, her third.
McLaughlin shot up and good. 52-40 your score now with 5:05 remaining in the game.
Well, McLaughlin came in 2 for 2 from the foul line on the season, so not a lot of free throw opportunities. And in that first half, did not attempt a free throw.
Second one up and good, 4 for 4 on the season now, so not a lot of opportunities, but she is taking advantage when she gets it. 5 minutes left in the ball game. Good press right now by Shepherd. Stolen by Lauren Reed. She gets it over to McLaughlin, up and fouled again, and McLaughlin will head to the foul line. Good defense, good press by the Rams.
Yep, Stowovi trapped in the backcourt, turned it over, and then she also commits the foul on that drive to the rim.
4:57 left in the game. Coach Jen Eckleberry wants a timeout. We will take one as well. 4:57 remaining in the ball game. Right now it's Wesleyan up 52-41 over the Rams. This is Shepherd Ram basketball on TV10 and WRNR TV.
Tip-off for this December 8th game is 4 p.m. Stay tuned for more information on ShepherdRams.com.
prepare for what's next or to plan ahead. We're here. Brown Funeral Home, a legacy of service since 1880.
McLaughlin's first foul shot up and good. It's a 10-point game. Can get it down to single digits with this foul shot if it hits the bottom of the net. Off the back of the iron, it'll stay a 10-point game brought down by Gabauer. Again, a good press brought into the front court. Good pivot right there. Thought that was going to be a third step taken, but a good job by Hughes to make sure she did not move that last foot. And a whistle. They're going to get an offensive foul
for a push-off.
So that could turn. That's a big play right there for Shepherd, as Wesleyan is looking to just take time off the clock.
Also, the fourth foul on Hughes, who's done a very good job handling the basketball for the Bobcats.
Around Lauren Reed from the top of the key, 3-ball up, and it's good. Big shot for Lauren Reed, and Coach Eckelberry will want another timeout. 4:27 left in this ball game. That is a huge basket, the biggest one yet, as Shepherd draws to within 7. Big shot from the top of the key for one of the hardest shots to make. A straightaway 3 for Lauren Reed.
And one that they desperately needed, and the way that they have shot three-pointers in this game, you may not have expected that one to go, but I tell you, Reed found nothing but the bottom of the net. I don't even think that skimmed the rim as it went through.
No, perfect shot. Quick 30-second timeout, and you can tell that's Shepherd, Ram bench, and the team itself really getting into it. You can tell very vocal during that timeout.
Yeah, you saw Lindsay Bedrigal coming off of the bench, weaving her way through teammates to get out and congratulate Reed on that big 3.
Again, you see the tight pressure. It's been working so far as Langford and Reed, but broken quickly by Wesleyan. Kick back outside. Good block by McLaughlin. Tight defense right now for Shepherd. They're not giving Wesleyan any room. Good steal by Langford, but given right back. Langford tried to just get it on the dribble rather than get the ball. Good take, and we're going to get a travel. Good job down low, Sydney Clayton. Lowering her shoulder was Victoria Jackson trying to get to the rim. Good job just holding that ball was Clayton, and Jackson took a few too many steps. 4 minutes now on the clock. Shepherd 45, Wesleyan 52. 7-point game. Big possession here for the Rams. Langford set up that offense. Reed in the corner. She wanted to take that shot no matter what. It is blocked down low. Wesleyan basketball.
Yeah, Gabauer was there defensively close enough, and I don't think you take that shot at that time.
Now, I think Reed wanted more of a heat check than anything. I think she was still feeling that shot that brought it to within 7. And we'll get a foul on Sydney Clayton trying to go for the ball, use that left hand just a little too much.
Yeah, Nicole Gilliard, the 6'1 junior out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, making a drive into the lane and forcing that foul.
It's a long drive from Oklahoma, too.
It is.
At the line, first shot up, and it is good.
I admit I don't say that by experience. I've never made that drive before. But just looking at a map, it's not close.
Gilliard's second shot up and off the back of the rim. Shepherd bring it the other way, still a single-digit deficit, 8 points now the deficit. Works it inside to Sydney Clayton. Has the ball tipped away outside to Langford. She will kick back to Kayla Tibbs. A deep 3. Nails it from the Mountain East Conference sign on the court. What a shot for Kayla Tibbs.
Especially considering the rough three-point shooting night she has had, but when she needed that one, she got it.
And don't look now, just a 5-point ball game.
Clayton with the blocked shot. But again, the Bobcats get the offensive board, and now a foul on Sydney Clayton.
Down low again, just using a little too much of that left arm. But talk about a big shot, Kayla Tibbs from deep.
And now some very big free throws coming from Gabauer.
First one off the front of the iron.
Came in 5 of 6. That's 83% from the foul line. Looking back into that first half, did not attempt a free throw, and she
second one off the back of the iron.
Misses them both.
No dice. As Shepherd will move it back up into the offensive zone. Langford driving in, kicks it back out to Lauren Reed. She fakes, drives into the lane, off the front of the iron, but brought down by McLaughlin. An offensive rebound, a big offensive rebound for the Rams. Over in the corner, it's Langford. Jump shot up and off the back of the iron, but again a rebound by McLaughlin. On the floor, will not get the basket.
Yeah, foul.
Referee calling on the floor, no continuation there.
Yeah, and it's a good call.
Yep. Had possession planted when the foul happened, then after the foul was called, extended up. Good call, but not what this crowd wanted. This crowd ready to explode after that. They did explode after that and had to gain composure.
Yeah, but what gutsy play there from McLaughlin, being able to get back-to-back key offensive rebounds.
And the first foul shot is good. A 4-point game. McLaughlin's second shot up, and it is good. A one-possession ball game. Would you have thought this at the beginning of the fourth quarter? A amazing run for the Rams. Trouble getting it in was Wesleyan. Little give and go as they do get it to Hughes, and she gets into the Wesleyan end of the court. Shepherd needs another good defensive stand. Again, a one-possession game. It was a 14-point game not too long ago. Oh, Langford. Feet kept moving, and a good take as maybe a slick spot or something, but both Clayton and Langford lost their footing playing defense.
Yeah, I think that was just Victoria Jackson kind of breaking some ankles there with a sweet move to the basket.
Good take by Jackson, working it inside of McLaughlin. She slips. That was a wet part of the floor right there. And just like that, numbers for Wesleyan. And, ooh, a foul called. Thought that was all ball. But Kayla Tibbs going to get called for the foul.
Yeah, Tibbs raking down across the ball that ultimately knocked it off the leg of Jackson. It was going out of bounds as the whistle came and the foul was called.
Jackson will be at the line for a 1-and-1. Coach Bullitt giving instruction to her team. First shot up and it is good, so not a 1-and-1. We'll get 2 shots on that. 56-50. Could get back out to a 3-possession game if this foul shot is made. Jackson shot up and good. So back out to a 3-possession game. That little run for Shepherd countered by the Bobcats. Working it over, Kayla Tibbs back out to Carrie Langford. Over to Lauren Reed, back up top to Langford. Langford in the lane, working it back out to McLaughlin. She'll go over to Kayla Tibbs. Tibbs, the big 3 earlier, inside to Sydney Clayton. Almost loses the ball. Good give to Langford. In the lane, blocked.
There's Gay Bauer on the defensive end this time. She's done it all night on the offensive end. This time she does it with the block. And
a good job by Gilliard getting that rebound, but she does step out of bounds, so it will be Shepherd ran basketball on the baseline with a fresh shot clock.
Need to score again on this possession. We've said it the last couple of possessions.
Lauren Reed tries to go inside of Sydney Clayton, and not a smart pass. Clayton was very well guarded.
Yeah, really forced that pass to try to get it in there. Got poked away, and it's the easy steal.
Right now, the momentum has shifted back to Wesleyan. Good defense, though, by Shepherd right now. Gilliard with the ball. She sends it back out top to Hughes. Now working it over inside. Back to Gilliard. They're going to get a foul. I'm not sure I'm buying that one.
That's what Sydney Clayton says as she kind of looks towards the official and then the bench, and not sure she was liking that call.
Yeah, Gilliard swung that ball around and forced contact. Not sure how much contact was actually done by Shepherd. That first shot rattles in and out. And what do they say? Ball doesn't lie.
Clayton picks up her 4th foul. She'll have to be careful over this final 1:05.
Second foul shot up off the back of the iron, and a offensive rebound coming at the worst time.
Yeah, Shepherd's going to probably have to foul now.
And they don't foul, just trying to play tight defense, wasting valuable time. But a jump ball, and it will belong to West Virginia Wesleyan.
Yeah, the Bobcats own the possession arrow. Not any longer. Shepherd now on the next jump ball will get it, but unfortunately probably going to lose some more time off the clock in this situation as Wesleyan prepares to inbound.
Liz Mormon back in the game.
Yeah, Clayton's got to come out. You don't want her to commit a foul.
And that's what Liz Mormon's going to do, just that quick foul, only taking about a second off of the clock.
That'll be her 4th personal.
At the line is Gilliard again. Been at the line quite a few times here in the fourth quarter.
4 as well for Langford. So foul trouble right now for the Rams, as well as the trouble of being down by 7 with 49 seconds left.
First foul shot for Gilliard up, and it is good. An 8-point lead now for the Bobcats.
Gilliard, a 70% foul shooter, 7 of 10 coming in. Their second leading scorer, averaging 9.8 a game.
Second shot up, and it is good. A 9-point lead for the Bobcats. Timeout. Coach Jen Eckleberry wants to talk to her Rams. A 3-point game. It was a 3-point game at 53-50, and Wesleyan has gotten the last 6 points. A lot coming from that foul line.
Yeah, and a lot coming from that defensive end as they forced turnovers. You got to give this Bobcat team credit. I mean, here's a team fighting for their first win of the year, 0-4 coming in, had the big lead. The Rams battle back, make it a one-possession game. You wondered, how was this team going to handle the pressure? Coach Bullitt has to be pleased with the way they've done it to push it back out to a 9-point advantage.
Well, this is a West Virginia Wesleyan team who so far this season have been giving up 73.5 points. So let's round up to 74 points for their opponent. Right now, Shepherd 50. But you look offensively, Matt, you know how many points Wesleyan averages a year or averages a game?
About 60.
About 59. Where are they right now? 59. So they're playing their game right now offensively, but their defense came to play today.
Well, and Shepherd has missed shots. I mean, even good open looks, they have not shot well from inside the arc, but especially from outside the arc, and that has certainly hurt them in this one.
Well, with 49.3 left on the clock, the inbound goes to Carrie Langford. She will drive, kick it back outside of McLaughlin. McLaughlin from the left corner up, rattles off the front of the iron and brought down by Wesleyan.
Yeah, Gay Bauer grabbing the rebound, and she's going to head to the other end for some free throw opportunities. Another missed shot for Shepherd, and again this one beginning to slip away after the Rams with such a great comeback in this fourth quarter to get it to within 3 at one point.
A phenomenal run, but just fell a little bit too short as with 40.7 left. It's going to be awful tough to come back from this one, but first shot for Gay Bauer off the front of the iron, keeping it a 9-point game.
You know, how many times do you see that, though? A team gets so close, but the energy expended in being able to make that comeback, sometimes you just can't keep the momentum going. You just lose that energy once you get close.
A couple of substitutions. The 5 on the court, Lauren Reed, Carrie Langford, as that shot up and good. A 10-point game now as Coach Eckleberry wants a timeout. Again, a 10-point game. Now 60-50, and West Virginia Wesleyan and head coach Vicki Bullitt, again a big name in this area, graduate of Martinsburg High School, regionally a Maryland Terrapin, and it did great things nationwide.
Nationally, an Olympian, a gold medal Olympian. Internationally, a great professional basketball player, particularly in Brazil.
So she's got a great resume coming into coaching this Bobcat team, and a good resume coming, again, you mentioned Hagerstown Community College, where she turned that program around, and it looks like they're going to get their first win of this 2018-19 season. Again, a 10-point lead for the Bobcats, 60-50, 40.7 left here in the ballgame.
Can only imagine she's going to be a good recruiter. I mean, obviously, who wouldn't want to play for someone that has those type of credentials?
Kayla Tibbs up and off the front of the iron, maybe a little bit of contact, no call, as another foul, and it will send Nicole Gilliard to the line, where she has put up a tent almost in this fourth quarter. She's been at the line quite a bit. Shot clock now off as we are under 30 seconds at 29.5, so no shot clock left in a 10-point game now that is going all the way of the West Virginia Wesleyan Bobcats.
Oh, Matt, another good look as Tibbs got that pass on the move to the basket, but just couldn't get the shot to go, and it's been that type of night all evening for Shepherd.
First shot missed by Gilliard at the foul line. Score remains 60-50. Second shot up and rattles in and out off the back of the iron. 25 seconds left to play. A little bit of urgency, but not much. Reed will go from the left wing. That's off the front of the iron, and some contact down low, and it'll go against Liz Mormon. with 19 seconds left to play.
That's going to be her 5th as Mormon is going to foul out. Remember, she, along with Clayton and Langford, had 4 fouls each about a minute or more ago. And hang on a second. They called that foul on 2-2 Langford.
I think they got that one wrong.
Yeah, I agree.
Mormon clearly in an arm lock.
Yes.
Down low. I'm not sure. And, I mean, either way, somebody's getting fouled out. So I guess no harm, no foul in that one. But, yeah, not sure what was being looked at there. First shot up and good for Gilliard.
And now the horn sounded with Gilliard having the ball at the line as the Rams were trying to get Lindsay Bedrigal onto the floor. But she will not be allowed to come in as they will let the free throw attempt go first. And now Bedrigal checks into the lineup.
Tyresha Henderson also making her first appearance of the day. She came in for Langford. Kayla Tibbs now taking a seat for Bedrigal. Bedrigal with... And they're going to get that offensively or defensively?
I think it's a defensive
foul. I saw the arm extended. Wasn't sure which way they're going with that. From this angle, will be a defensive foul, and Bedrigal will be at the line for 2 with 11.8 left.
Yeah, Victoria Jackson with that little forearm shiver, if you will, trying to prevent any type of a drive from Bedrigal.
11 seconds left. Bedrigal's first shot up and good.
And Bedrigal, a 50% foul shooter coming in. She had made 1 out of 2 on the season.
Second shot up, and it is off the front of the iron. I think they're going to get a timeout. I thought they may get a lane violation on Liz Mormon. She went just about as the ball left Bedrigal's hands, but a timeout on the floor with 10.8 left in this one. 62-51 the score.
And credit this Bobcat team. They have battled hard in this one. They're going to pick up their first win. And for Coach Jenna Eckleberry, her staff, and this Rams team, this one hurts. They'll fall to 3-3 overall, and now 1-2 in the conference. And these are games you really want to get when you're at home, because Shepherd will be spending a lot of January and February on the road.
This is going to be one of those games that I think Coach Eckleberry and her staff are going to say got away. I think this is one of those games, again, a team that hadn't won a game yet this year. This is a game that you have to win at home. Like you said, going to be on the road an awful lot in the later part of this season. Inbound pass. We're under 10 now. 7-6-5. Kicks it back out. Wesleyan's going to hold it as the final 3 seconds will tick off of this clock. Final in the girls' game, the first game of this doubleheader. Wesleyan gets the win. 62-51, the final here. We'll come back and have some analysis, also some stats. We'll also tell you how things went around the Mountain East Conference in girls basketball with how the finals were across the Mountain East. All that coming up next in our brief post-game show. Then we'll take about a 15-minute break. After that, it's the guys' action, all coming up here on TV 10 and WRNR TV. We'll be back with some reaction from this one. Again, this is Shepherd Basketball on TV 10 and WRNR TV.
Prepare for what's next, or to plan ahead. We're here. Brown Funeral Home, a legacy of service since 1880.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
W Medicine has planted itself here, and they're the first university that I've found who wants to take ownership of this population, of Western Maryland, Southern Pennsylvania, Eastern Ohio, and the good people of West Virginia. And it's really refreshing to see.
I was able to do things that the patients were going away for, which is good for the patients, and it's good for us because we have more resources. Certainly has helped take us to another level.
Matt was just pointing down here.
And we welcome you back into the Butcher Center. Time for our post-game action, and a tough one for the Shepherd University women's basketball team, falling by a final of 62-51. And Matt, this is we said it right as the game was ending, but a game that got away from these Lady Rams.
Well, it got away early. Go back to that first half, and we talked about those first half stats when Shepherd shoots 24% from the floor and just 9%, 1 of 11 from beyond that three-point arc. They missed their first 3 three-pointers of that second half before finally knocking one down, and in the end came up with a couple of big threes late in this game, but they were so far behind and expended so much energy that once they got it back to a one-possession game at 53-50, they really couldn't keep it going. They couldn't maintain that momentum through the final, minute and a half of the game.
And you and I both know basketball is a game of runs. Shepherd really only had that one run in this game. From the get-go, I mean, they had a little baby 6-point run to draw it to within 10-9 in that second quarter. Really, the first quarter, very low scoring. But they never had, other than that late run, never had that signature run you were expecting them to have at some point in this ball game. It just never happened.
Well, Matt, go back to that middle of the first quarter into about the middle of the second quarter, that time when Wesleyan really struggled to score the basketball. They had 10 points for the longest time, and that was the time when Shepherd could not take advantage. If they get on a run, then this may be a different ball game.
Again, you say struggled to score. They didn't score. It was a full 10 minutes, so a full quarter, if you will, where Wesleyan did not break 10 points. So that was a perfect opportunity, and I'm sure that's going to be the check mark, the star, the exclamation point when you look at this film. And when they do watch this film, guys, we gave up. We let them go an entire quarter of basketball without scoring, and they couldn't gain the lead back. So that was one of those situations that was tough because you knew that was going to be an opportunity that if they lost was going to come back to bite them.
Well, and ultimately it did, even as they were able to make that great run in the fourth quarter. It ends up being too little too late in the end. As you credit this Bobcat team, they turned up the defensive pressure, forced some turnovers. Of course, Shepherd still playing at that frantic pace, even when they got back to within 3 points late, and then you give the Bobcats credit as well, hitting some free throws down the stretch, able to stretch this lead out and go on for their first win.
All right, we're going to take a 1-minute break. When we come back, we'll have some final stats, hopefully, from the SID here at Shepherd. Chip Ransom over there working hard. And we'll also give you the finals from some of the games, or all of the games, hopefully, from around the Mountain East Conference. And then, again, a quick break. Take about 5 minutes here, and then we'll have the pregame and the men's basketball action all coming up right here. This is Shepherd Ram Basketball on TV 10 and WRNR TV.
Thank you. Hey, can I circle some numbers?
4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
For the women's game, clear reason as to why Shepherd didn't get this win.
Yeah, I mean, you look at all the statistical categories, and it just wasn't enough. Shepherd shoots 28% from the floor, 14 of 51, while Wesleyan shot 41%, 23 of 56. Neither team was great from beyond the arc, but Wesleyan hit 5 of 21. That's 24%. Shepherd just 4 of 22, or 18% from beyond the arc. 58% free throw shooting for Wesleyan, 11 of 19. Shepherd 79% as they went 19 of 24 from the line. The Rams commit 2 more turnovers than the Bobcats, 20 to 18, and Wesleyan out rebounds at Shepherd by 10, 43-33. Put it all together, and well, that equals a 62-51 win for the Bobcats. They had 3 in double figures. Wesleyan led by Abby Gaybauer, 19 points, 15 for Victoria Jackson, and Brittany Stowovi with 11 points. Just 1 player in double figures for Shepherd, Kayla Tibbs, 14 points, but just 2 of 10 from beyond the arc, and then 9 points for Carrie Langford as the second leading scorer.
That sums up for the stats, and again, the stats really tell the story in this one. Not always the case, but in this game, the stats really do tell the story of how this one played out. All right, real quick, before we take a quick break, again, about a 5-minute break before we come back and start previewing this men's game, let's take a look at how the Mountain East Conference ended with the women's action today. West Liberty gets the win over Urbana, final in that one, 95-56. Notre Dame and Wheeling Jesuit. Notre Dame gets the 66-48 win. Charleston was taking on Concord. It was Charleston 82, Concord 57. Glenville State falls. Glenville State falls to Fairmont State. That is going to be the shock of the day so far, the shock of the series probably. Fairmont State, not a good team coming into this one. 0-2 in the Mountain East and just 1 win so far on the season. Glenville State was 5-0 and nationally ranked very high, so a big upset there as Fairmont State gets the 98-77 win. Glenville
State, a team that lives and dies by the 3. We saw what can happen tonight, as neither of these teams really shot well from beyond the arc.
Not quite a final yet. UVA-Wise up 84-79, under 2 to play in the fourth quarter, 146. So that game looking like it's going to be a good one down the stretch. All right, that is going to do it from around the Mountain East Conference. Those were all your matchups. Again, only one still in action. We're going to take a 5-minute break. When we come back, we'll start previewing the men's matchup as both teams are, I guess, only Shepherd right now on the court warming up. Wesleyan has gone back into the locker room. We'll have the pregame with that one coming up in 5 minutes, and tip-off in just about 10 minutes from now. That all coming up next. This is Shepherd Ram Basketball on TV 10 and WRNR TV.